It's Mix 1079 and Andre Styles with Mix Mornings. A lot of our listeners know that I am someone that's pretty involved in lacrosse in the Columbus community. Not only coaching at the rec, but now coaching at the junior high level in Pickerington. My son Chase playing lacrosse for so many years. I played in high school. But we've got a great lacrosse community here with Ohio State, with Capital, with Otterbein, and so many collegiate players, professional players, a PLL coming to Columbus last summer, selling out the new Ohio State Stadium. But a former, I guess we can say now a graduate of the
Yeah.
Ohio State University, a big, huge YouTuber, content creator, but he played at the Ohio State University. Number 25, Mitchell Pehlke. Welcome.
Andre, appreciate you. Thank you. This is exciting. Obviously, got the opportunity to meet you this past summer, and your son Chase, the Pickerington legend. We've grown this relationship, and I'm excited to kind of hop on here and dive into camp, and obviously everything Ohio.
Yeah, I know you sort of tagged my son with those nicknames, and if his head wasn't big enough already after that camp, it was like this, especially with his long
Yeah,
hair, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But that was a lot of fun, and I know when we would go to Ohio State games, he would always stay after the games, and you were always very willing and gracious to come up to him and other fans there along with the other players. So my son's been following you for a while, and we talked about you graduating. So last season was your last season playing lacrosse at the Ohio State University, and now you are not only doing the YouTube, putting out all the content, which you've been doing even before coming to Ohio State University,
yep,
but now you have the Mitchell Pehlke Experience. And I know
yep.
you did a couple of them last summer, and you've got more planned for them. And you just announced that you're coming to Columbus with the Mitchell Pehlke Experience, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited. So like I said, we did two this past summer and we're doing about four this summer. So like you said, Columbus, Ohio, we have Long Island, Baltimore, and Charlotte and Philadelphia around the Sunday, actually between Final Four weekend, which I'm really excited about. But Columbus has been one I've always wanted to get back to, right? Obviously just graduating in May. I think the turnaround to do it last summer was kind of too quick. So I was like, hey, I definitely want to get back to Columbus this year. And obviously, I wanted to do it at the Ohio State Lacrosse Stadium, but I think there would have been too many hoops to jump through. So we're actually still doing it on campus at the Lincoln Tower Park field, which I'm really excited about. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be ages from third grade all the way to ninth grade this summer coming up, and I can't wait for the experience. I think that's something I really learned this past summer was just being able to get out there and make the kids smile while they learn lacrosse and hit a little frog on the side has always been my goal, and it's super fun and something I want to continue to develop in this next generation of lacrosse players.
When was it that you first started having the idea, the thought of, okay, I want to put on these Mitchell Pehlke experiences for the younger generation?
Yeah, it actually started way back in the day. So my dad actually had a camp in the Northern Virginia area called Upper Corner Lacrosse Camp. It was essentially the same sort of thing. It was a 4-day camp, same ages, all positions. And I just remember being a player and then a coach later in my years, and I was like, wow, like these kids are having so much fun. I want to always give back to this sport, right? Just like you, just like me, we're continuously trying to grow this sport and move it forward. So it honestly started with my pops back in the day, going to his camps and then coaching a lot of camps in high school and in the summers of college. I was like, hey, a big goal of mine after I get that cap and gown is to put on one of my own. So we sold out one in Long Island last summer and one back home in Northern Virginia, and looking to do the same with these ones coming up.
So it's coming up July 22nd and 23rd, like you said, at the Lincoln Tower Park, which is down on
Yep.
campus, and you got a great view of Ohio Stadium right there from that field.
Yeah.
So that's really
Yeah.
cool. And I know you always, yes, of course, Mitchell Pehlke is there. It's his camp, but you bring in, some other collegiate players or sometimes even some professional players. But I know PLL is probably going to be going on around that time. So,
Yep.
any hints on who you might be bringing in for the Columbus camp?
Yeah, no, I think I definitely want to stay local. I think I kind of want to make it like an Ohio State only camp of active players, of past legends that have been through the program. But I can tell you what, Ohio's finest will be there. And I'm excited, right? I think Ohio is a growing area for this sport. Obviously, we saw what Justin Anasio is doing with Overpower, and I think to really shine that light onto this camp, getting the best players and coaches and pros at the Mitchell Pehlke Lacrosse Experience is going to be something I really want to do, and it's going to happen. And I can't wait for July 22nd and 23rd.
Yes, and I know that's actually a week after Chase's birthday, and it's the
Oh, there
week
we go.
it's like the week after we get back from his last summer tournament for club. So perfect opportunity for him to
Yep.
to come out there. And I know it's yeah, you guys do the drills, but you guys also have fun.
Yeah.
You're filming for YouTube for your channel. You're playing different games. You're giving away different prizes. So yeah, the kids are going to come. They're going to put in the work, but they're also going to have an experience, a great time at this camp.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, right? Like I tell these parents, I'm like, hey, if your kid just picked up the stick yesterday, or has been playing for years, or is at the top of his class, like come to the event, come to the experience. You're going to be able to learn from guys like Connor Schellenberger, Danny Moltz, Brendan O'Neill, who have been to past camps, and also have fun. Be inside Mitchell Pelkey's content, be around me, right? Be around guys that are playing at the next level, and ultimately walk away from the sport with a smile on your face. You'll have music going. You might have a little water balloon fight. And I think at that age, that's what it's all about. I think in this time of lacrosse and the older aspect, you see kids kind of getting burned out because there's so much opportunity. I want to kind of bring it back to why we first got in with the sport. Why do we still love this sport? And just pick up the stick and let's have some fun. So I'm a big believer in that, but you can expect a ton of challenges, a ton of competitions, and a ton of giveaways throughout the camp with different challenges to win and giveaways at the end of the both days.
And I know you're, of course, an STX athlete, so they're heavily
Yep.
involved in the Mitchell Pehlke experience as well. And I know
Yep.
registration is open, right? So people can go to
Yeah.
mitchellpehlke.com to get signed up for the
Yep.
camp and experience now.
Yeah. So the mitchellpelkey.com registration, actually, I haven't announced it to the public. We just sent out emails this morning. I'm posting it live on my social media tonight. But I'm excited. Registration is open, and the other camps I've mentioned, Long Island, Maryland, Philly, Charlotte, like those are getting close to sold out. Obviously, we have a lot of time coming up before the experiences start, but it's going quick. And I can't wait just to see kids out there and make them laugh and again level up their experience with the lacrosse stick in their hand.
So what's the quickest one of the camps has sold out in?
Long Island last year sold out in like 13 days.
All right, let's Columbus. Let's do it quicker than 13
Yeah, come on.
days. Yeah, let's sell
Come
out
on.
this Mitchell Pehlke experience. A week. Let's do it 7 days.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
7 days. I like that.
let's
I
sell
love
it
that.
out. Yeah. Well, and those I know we're talking about the camp now, but those that might be unfamiliar. I mean, Mitchell Pehlke is huge on YouTube, and we were just talking before we jumped on here. He's in Florida now because he was there for the PLO Combine at the IMG
Yep.
Academy, filming some stuff there. I know you were just out in Utah, filming
Yep.
with the college team there. Of course, you've done Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame, all these different schools, Army. And it's really cool to see the different schools, those that, even if you're not interested in lacrosse, to see how these programs and these college students live and what they go through. But you dive into lacrosse, but you also have a lot of fun. I mean, the one with
Yep.
Jesse James, you former lacrosse player, but you get to see his life now as, outside of lacrosse, and
Yep.
everything else. So, I mean, you've been doing this for a while. At what point did you sit here and say, all right, this is what I want to do with my career?
I think I've always been in this mantra of I want to be my own boss. My dad's his own boss, my mom's his own boss, my stepmom is her own boss, and I come from a lot of entrepreneurs, obviously. And I just see the way they grew up and the lifestyle they had was something I've always admired. Where my dad wasn't a 9 to 5 guy. If I wanted to get in touch with him in the middle of the day on a Wednesday, I could call him up and he could be there for his kids. And I'm such a family guy at heart that I wanted to produce that for my kids. And also the passion the passion's always been there for lacrosse and social media. And how can I continue to elevate that passion so I can earn an income so this can be my full time job? And I've done that through the years, and it's been a lot of setting the foundation. Andre, obviously, we talked at the camp, but I started producing content in 2016. So from 2016, when I was a freshman in high school to a senior in college, those 8 years, I was building the foundation to when I get that cap and gown, then I'm off on my own and I'm creating content fully. And that's been kind of the life ever since May. I felt like I've been living out of the duffel bag, traveling, making great content for my viewers. And nothing makes me happier than seeing a kid that says, "Hey, I love your videos," or wearing the merch, or even signing up for the camps. And that's what it's all about, right? It's like, how do we continue to empower the next generation of lacrosse players and just put a smile on their face and continue to entertain?
Yes, no, I absolutely love that. Everyone can follow him, of course, Instagram, TikTok at Mitchell Pehlke. Follow him on YouTube. Mitchell Pehlke, he has his page there,
Yep.
mitchellpehlke.com. What is your favorite video that you've ever done? Even if it didn't get the most views, the favorite that you've done.
I think a recent one, honestly, that comes to mind is I recorded my entire life this past year in 2023. And that was a cool one for me because I've never really showed um, what it's like to grow and run a business on the other side, right? I filmed from January 23 to December 23, every other week, catching up with the camera and kind of showing the audience of what I'm really struggling with. And I thought that was a really inspirational video. And that definitely did not get the most views to what my typical lacrosse videos get, but that has definitely been a video where I've got the most in person or online interaction with, "Hey man, I love that video." Or actually somebody came up to me yesterday and was like, "Hey, was that scene with your mom in the kitchen talking about how hard it's going to take, like, was that real?" And I was like, "Yeah, that was real. That's what it's like." So that video strikes to me. It was titled "The Crazy Why 2023 was the craziest year of my life," and I will forever look back at that video and be like, "Wow, that was such a pivotal time in my content journey."
What is the craziest experience that you've had, even if you're not filming, like walking out and someone recognizing you or anything else like that? Have you had that sort of out of body experience yet,
I
or
think
like,
some.
man,
I think it honestly happened last night. Actually, I was my aunt reached out. She was like, "Hey, my friend just found out that we're related. Like, can you hop on the phone with little Mason? It's his 10th birthday." And I was like, "Yeah, no problem." And we hopped on a Zoom call. It was only 2 or 3 minute Zoom call, but his mom surprised him. She was like, "Hey, I have somebody for you to talk to." Swiped over on the connection. I was in the Zoom and just seeing this kid smile, right? And he's like so shocked, and I'm like, sometimes I take a step back and be like, I have such an impact on these kids, and I love it. And I just making a kid's day like that, like it's his birthday, like that was 2 or 3 minutes out of my life, but that Mason will remember that forever. And that's the type of stuff I continue to do every single day when I meet kids on the street, or they're buying my merch. And I always know if I'm at these lacrosse tournaments and I see a kid come up to me, and if I'm stressed out, I'm like, "Look, like this might be the only time this kid's ever meet me, so I have to make this experience 100% for him." And that's something that will forever drive me. And I think just that conversation I had with little Mason that was turning 10 yesterday is something that was just top of mind. But stuff like that happens all the time.
that is so cool. And I like we've talked many a times about this. Like, I mean, my son after the one camp, of course, we had to get the Air Frog shirt, but he
Yeah,
he
the
he, he
classics.
arrived he arrived at the camp with the black hit the frog shirt on,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
show it, and there's plenty of days where I come home from work, he's just gotten home from school, and he's already on his phone, and as soon as I open the door, he's like, "Hey, did you see the new Mitchell Pehlke video, or did you see where Mitchell was or what he was doing?"
yeah.
So the influence that you have on these youth and these up and coming players in the next generation, I think, is just unbelievable, and you've done an amazing job so far with it. And I just, as a parent, as a former lacrosse player, as a coach, I just want to say thank you for doing that.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And again, that's kind of the dream and goal of what I'm doing here, right? Is like, how can I continue to inspire these kids, right? I just got off the phone this morning with a dad that wants his kid to play Division 1 lacrosse. And I want to help you get to that point. And I think through these videos of continuing to encourage the kids to get on the wall or go out and shoot, if they want something bad enough, they have to put in the time. And I think I'm fortunate enough to have a young audience, and that's the audience I want. And I'm also fortunate enough to kind of be that role model for them. And I never want to give that up and kind of give them bad advice. I always want to give them advice so they can strive to do big things in that inside their career and inside their life. So it's a blessing. I'm so fortunate enough to be where I am within this career. And I still always love when people ask me, what do I do for a living? I'm like, I create YouTube videos. And they're like, what's it about? Let me check it out. And like that type of stuff brings me joy all the time.
Yeah. Well, people like we've talked about a lot, but they can always go to mitchellpehlke.com. You've got the merchandise on there, so get the stickers, get the shirts, the hoodies, the
Yeah.
hats. All of that is on there. He's always putting out sort of new merchandise on there, seasonal stuff, which is really really cool. But of course, the
Yep.
Mitchell Pehlke Experience, like we talked about, coming to Columbus, Lincoln Tower Park, July 22nd and the 23rd. So register for that. Let's sell this thing out quickly,
7 days. Let's
Columbus.
go.
Yes, 7 days. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Well, Mitchell, thank you so much. But before we go, can we hit the frog?
Oh, we got it. Let's see it. Pops, you got it.
I
Pops is
I know,
electric.
I know. I mean, it comes naturally sometimes, right? So
I love it. Hey, some are born with it, some got to practice towards it. You're obviously born with
yeah.
it, so I love it. But thank you for having me on and being able to talk to the great state of Ohio and the awesome city of Columbus.
Anytime, Mitchell, hit me up. Anything going on or you want to help promote, we're here for you. We love helping you grow the game and also your YouTube page and everything else. So appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.